Couple questions in terms of the role of government and private industry and consumers. And you're not an advocate per se, but where do you see the balance between those sectors and how they need to work together?
Governments are moving. We're moving more now than we did in the past. But I really believe that the move to green energy is not going to come from the governments. It's going to come from the ground up. It's going to come from people demanding it, and it's going to come from industry saying, hey, we've got a good product, people like to buy it. The iPhone didn't come from the governments. The iPhone came from a company that said, look, we can improve our communication devices. Steve Jobs said, hey, let's put all this ability into something you can hold in your hand. Mm-hmm. And I was on a subway just last week in Vancouver. Everyone was on their phone. Every single person was on their phone. I thought, man, what a marketing success that is. And we're seeing electric cars are coming in because the automotive industry realizes people like them. They want them. They're fast. They're hot to drive. Mm-hmm. And they're clean. And people feel good owning them. Okay, let that happen. Let the other generating technology come in. Mm-hmm. So if we all agree, then the politicians will follow because the politicians want to please the public, right? And if we demand them support this, support the science, the government's role could be to support the new technologies, the new research, to take the chances that maybe the industry can't afford to do. Mm-hmm. That's certainly what happened in space. Look at with space technology. NASA was formed, a government agency. They learned how to build rockets, fly to the moon, build a space station. But now they've handed that over to the private sector, and SpaceX and Blue Origin, these companies, are now flying in space at 1/10 of the cost because they didn't have to do that original R&D. So there's where the government can come in with clean technologies to support institutions, our centers of excellence, to develop the new ideas. And I challenge anyone watching this right now who's an engineer to come up with another way to get energy out of oil besides the hydrogen stuff I was talking about. There must be other ways to get other energy out of oil because oil is great. Let's keep it in business. So let's do that. That's where the government can come in, I think.
That's great. And maybe as a closing question, and people are curious about this too, what is it that you Bob McDonald, the journalist, what drives you every day and what makes you hopeful that we're going to overcome these problems?
Well, I'm very fortunate to do what I do, to host Quirks and Quarks. I talk to really smart people for a living. That's what I do. In fact, just this morning, I interviewed the guy who won the Nobel Prize for discovering that we all carry Neanderthal DNA. I was talking to him this morning. He was talking to me. And yesterday, I talked to the guy who won it in physics for quantum entanglement that Einstein didn't even believe in. So I get to talk to the smart people on our planet who are at the cutting edge of our knowledge, the cutting edge of our innovation, and it's a real privilege to do that. So I have hope that we're smart. We're smart. Canada, especially, we have such intellectual capital here, and we have the ability to do this. So, like I say, the soft barrier is fear. Let's get over our fears and use our brain power and use our technology and move ahead. I'm confident we can do it. We went to the moon. We did it in 9 years. Something we'd never, ever done before. We can do this. We can do this. And the climate's telling us, let's get off our ass and do it now, okay? Yeah. Let's do it. That gives me hope.